Republicans have become anti-big business? It turns out a number of strange events are aligning to turn the political world upside down, and John Avalon explains in our reality check. Hi, John.
So if you thought politics made strange bedfellows before, wait till you get a load of this. Big corporations are the new liberal mob. Yeah, that's the mind-bending tweet from Nikki Haley. And did you ever expect to see Georgia Republicans calling for a boycott of home state business giants Coke and Delta? I mean, that's like denouncing the national pastime, which some Republicans are doing after Major League Baseball moved the All-Star game from Atlanta to Colorado. That's all small ball compared to Mitch McConnell asking companies to stay out of politics after a career of trying to do the opposite. On the flip side, many big businesses are condemning GOP efforts to restrict voting rights, while business leaders like Jeff Bezos are backing President Biden's call for a higher corporate tax rate. You got all that? All right, let's start with the most surreal case of situational ethics.
I found it completely discouraging to find a bunch of corporate CEOs getting in the middle of politics. My advice to the corporate CEOs of America is to stay out of politics. Don't pick sides in these big fights.
Don't pick sides? Stay out of politics? Seriously? From the guy who sued over federal laws that limited corporations' ability to influence elections? Whose super PAC reportedly raised a record $475 million from business leaders and companies during the 2020 election cycle? Yeah, same guy. But now he's concerned that corporations are responding to employees, customers, and shareholders by standing up to laws passed in the shadow of Trump's big lie. Because, as the New Yorker reported, McConnell's team knows that Democratic-backed election reforms, making it easier to vote, are broadly popular, even with Republicans. That's not the only shock. A lot of business leaders are backing Joe Biden's call for a massive infrastructure bill, even though he's proposed paying for it largely by raising the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%, which, by the way, would still be far lower than it's been since the end of World War II. Now, few corporations actually pay the official rate because of a combination of deductions, losses, and loopholes, which brings me to an eye-popping stat from President Biden.
You have 51 or 52 corporations of the Fortune 500 that will pay a single penny in tax for 3 years.
Can that be right? Let's do a quick fact check. Well, as it turns out, mostly yes. In fact, there were at least 55 profitable companies among the Fortune 500 and S&P 500 that paid no federal tax in 2020. That's according to the Institute on Taxation and Economic Policy. The number of businesses that paid no income tax for the past 3 years, though, is half that, 26, according to the report. But big businesses saying they're okay with a higher tax rate? What's next?
Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
No, it's not as bad as all that. It's just some businesses see Biden infrastructure's investment as an overdue boast for America's long-term competitiveness. These fights are not over, not by a long shot, but the political fault lines are shifting, particularly as Republicans confront the contradictions of Trump's conservative populism. And that's your reality check.